My daughter said I don't love my grandson. She screamed it right in my face after I refused to babysit for the 4th weekend in a row. I was standing in my kitchen making coffee when she barged in without knocking and just unloaded on me. You never want to spend time with him. You always have some excuse. Admit it. You don't even care about your own grandson. I put my mug down and looked at her. The truth was way more complicated than she thought. Her son, my grandson Austin, was 6 years old. Sweet kid, but my daughter Brooke had been using me as free childcare since he was born. Every single weekend. Sometimes weekdays too. No notice, just a text saying she was dropping him off. I retired 2 years ago after working as a nurse for 30 years. I spent 3 decades taking care of other people. I wanted time for myself. I joined a pottery class on Saturdays, started going to the gym, made plans with friends I hadn't seen in years because I was always too tired or too busy. But Brooke didn't care about any of that. She'd text me Friday night saying Austin needs you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and then show up with him still in pajamas. When I said I had plans, she'd guilt trip me. He's your grandson. Family comes first. Don't you love him? Of course I loved him, but I also loved having a life. The weekend she blew up at me, I had finally said no because I was going on a weekend trip to the coast with my friend Janet. We'd been planning it for 3 months, booked a little beach house, made dinner reservations. I was so excited. Brooke called it selfish, said I was choosing strangers over my own family. I reminded her Janet wasn't a stranger. We'd been friends since college. Didn't matter to her. After she accused me of not loving Austin, I snapped. I told her the real problem wasn't that I didn't love him. The problem was she expected me to raise him while she went out partying every weekend. She got this look on her face like I'd slapped her. She left, didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. Then Austin's school called me, not Brooke, me. They said there was an emergency and they couldn't reach Brooke. Austin had fallen off the playground equipment and hit his head pretty hard. They needed someone to come immediately. I was 20 minutes away. I drove there going 15 over the speed limit the whole way. When I got there, Austin was sitting in the nurse's office with an ice pack on his forehead. He saw me and started crying. Not because he was hurt, because he was scared his mom would be mad at him for getting hurt. That broke something in me. I took him to the emergency room, sat with him for 4 hours while they did scans and tests. He was fine, just a mild concussion. The whole time I kept trying to call Brooke, straight to voicemail, every single time. She finally called me back at 7 that night, 8 hours after the school called. She was at brunch with friends. Her phone had been on silent. I didn't yell. I just told her Austin was in the hospital and she needed to come get him. She freaked out, rushed over. When she saw he was okay, she hugged him tight. Then she looked at me and said thank you. I told her we needed to talk, really talk. We sat in the hospital cafeteria. I told her I did love Austin. I loved him more than she probably realized, but I couldn't be her backup parent. I couldn't be the person she called when she wanted to go out or when she didn't feel like dealing with being a mom. She started crying, said she was overwhelmed. Single mom, full-time job, no help. She thought I would just understand because I was her mom and that's what moms do. I told her I understood being overwhelmed. I'd raised her as a single mom too. Her dad left when she was 3. I worked double shifts at the hospital just to keep the lights on. I missed so many of her school events because I had to work. I knew exactly how hard it was, but I also told her that didn't mean she could dump all of her responsibilities on me. I wasn't asking her to do it alone. I was asking her to plan better, to ask me in advance instead of last minute, to respect that I had a life too. She wiped her eyes and nodded. We made a deal. I would watch Austin 1 weekend a month, planned in advance, and if there was a real emergency, I would always be there. But the random last-minute babysitting had to stop. 3 months later, things were way better. Brooke started actually planning ahead. She'd text me 2 weeks in advance asking if I was free. Sometimes I said yes, sometimes I said no, and she accepted it.